So Rudy has been making videos about the bull market and the craziness of MTG, and how a lot of people who are in the bull market right now have forgotten about the crash of 2021, or they weren't around during that time of the crash of 2021 and then the 18 months that preceded, and they call it the bull market. And I'm fairly new to TCG. I got into Flesh and Blood around that time, 2021, I think January 2021. And I've been around and been with Fab and been playing Fab ever since then, so I still have memory for it. But what's surprising to me about what Rudy said was the average lifespan of a TCG player is around maybe 2 years at most, or somewhere where it's not that long. So those that are in the bull market now weren't even around for that crash. So in my head, like, that could be true too when it comes to Fab, because a good amount of people who I played Fab with when I started Fab aren't around anymore. One of the biggest example is Louis from Kitchen Table TCG. He had a Discord full of Fab players. That's where I learned how to play Fab. Well, I didn't learn how to play Fab then, but I got a lot of my reps. That Discord was booming. A lot of people. We had a lot of armory, a lot of games online and everything. And majority of them are non-existent. They don't play anymore. They have moved on to other games. They quit Fab. And the only person that I could think of that plays Fab is Patrick Weiss and Cody. But Cody, I only see him from time to time in Talishar. But that's neither here nor there. So going back to what I mean by that, is like a good amount of Fab people don't know about the existence of, what do you call it, the Monarch, the crash of Monarch. So I want to talk about it more about it because I was in it, my brother was in. We lost a good amount of money, but theoretically you don't lose money until you actually sell. So I want to show you first. I have skin in game when we're talking about how Rudy was talking about you show your receipt. So I want to show you this one card. Start off with this one card. Spores of War, Rainbow Foil, First Edition, Crucible of War. So this card cost me $225 when I bought it. This was the boom of Flesh and Blood. Let me show you something more. Come with me. So if you look up here in my backdrop, these are all the Fab boxes. That's Tale of Aria Unlimited and Monarch Unlimited. And I never opened up this closet. If you see this closet right here, this is my playmat. But over here, these are my boxes. Alright. Up there is Tales of Aria Unlimited up there. And here are my not Unlimited, Tales of Aria First Edition. And over here are my Monarch First Edition boxes and cases. And you can see right there, First Edition. These are my Crucible War boxes. I sold my WTR Alpha and Arcane Rising boxes a few years back because I needed to. But so let's talk about the dark times. So Monarch released in the end of April 2021. The months preceding that, from January when I first started all the way to April, there was a crazy boom of Flesh and Blood. Then during that time, LSS released a print run of Alpha WTR, First Edition Arcane Rising, and First Edition Crucible War. People are speculating maybe around 35,000, 30,000, 25,000, or 50,000 for those sets. But turns out WTR 16,666. Arcane Rising, same exact thing. Crucible War, double that, which is 37,500. So it was a lot less than what people expected. So of course, boom, the market went crazy. WTR Alpha boxes went from like around 3,000 to like 5,000, 8,000. Arcane Rising first went from 1,900, 1,700 to like 5,000. And Crucible War, it was dipping, it was going down, and it shot up from 400, 450, all the way to I remember the last sold pricing sale listing in TCG Player was 1200. So of course, with that number, people were speculating on Monarch, saying, hey, you know, print run can't be that much, especially during that time with COVID, with the lockdown, because the lockdown started in March 2020, and now is April 2021, which is around a year and 1 month. So they were thinking, as hey, with the whole COVID restriction and the lockdown and everything, they probably couldn't even print that much if they wanted to. So they say, okay, probably maybe 50,000, 75,000 at most. Let's do double of crew. So that'll be 37.5. So that'll be like around $75,000, 75,000 boxes. People are like, oh, great, which is not a lot comparing to the boom of everything. They're thinking the market going crazy and a lot of players. Prices going up, hence $225 for rainbow foil. And maximum momentum, the rainbow foil was like $200. Bracer, Brave Force bracers were around $150. A lot of things were booming and all that stuff. So legendaries for the first 2 sets of cold foils won thousands of dollars. So a lot of people were speculating. So when Channel Fireball, yes, Channel Fireball, some of you actually don't even know Channel Fireball. Channel Fireball is what Star City Games is right now. They hold events, they're big store for, and have direct boxes from LSF stuff. They don't have to go through distribution because they're that big of a company. Decided to open pre-order to Monarch first edition for $250. And people jumped in. They didn't care. It's like $250. Who cares? It's gonna go up like crazy later on. So people are jumping at it and pre-ordering everything because, like you say, Crucible went from $400, $500 to over $1,000. So whoever got Crucible War boxes, they were rolling cash. Same thing with Arcane Rising and WTR. So they think, hey, if I spend $250 on Monarch boxes, it's gonna go up to at least $800. Think about it. It's Crucible first will be $1,200, and there's $37,500. So Monarch, if there's double that, so it should only be less than that. So it'll be $600. Buy for $250, you can flip it for $600. So, and then Star City Games also, this is the first time they jumped into the scene and they start ordering up pre-orders for $200. And of course, Channel Fireball went back down to $200 just to match them because people are starting pre-order from Star City Games. So that was the floor price. That was the price they set it at. And stores, regular mom and pops, LGS, other places, they couldn't get any product, or they got like 1 or 2 cases at most. Meanwhile, these big companies, Team Covenant, Star City Games, and Channel Fireball, they were getting thousands and thousands of boxes, rightfully so, because they need to distribute a lot more. And so that was the price, $200, the lowest. And local mom and pop shop that started to pre-order around the same price too, or they came in pre-order, they start selling for at least $200 something. And when it released, prices still held. 500. Actually, people were willing to buy Monarch boxes for $500. And as the prices, as the month and the weeks went by, the weeks and months went by, prices start to drop because a good amount of the people that bought or got their hands on Monarch are resellers. And you know what resellers are? They just buy things most of the time on credit just for a quick flip so they can get the money and get the fuck out. So one of the biggest example was one of the guys my brother bought from. He sold the Library of Solana to my brother for a couple of thousand, and he said, hey, I got all these Majestic cards. You want them? I give you for a set price for this much. And we calculated it, and if we were to buy all those Majestic, they'll come down to like $12 a Majestic. And Majestic were going for like $80, $50, $80 each at that time. So I was like, whoa, this is a really good price. Let's just buy them, you know. And he even says like, yeah, I don't care about these cards. I'm just here. I'm just a reseller. I'm like, okay, whatever. So we bought them, all that stuff. Of course, nowadays all these Majestics are pennies or dollars on that thing. But that's how it was. A lot of these sellers, people who actually got the hands on these boxes, were just resellers. So of course prices are steadily just kept going down, decreasing, because they're all coming in trying to get unload, get their money to pay their credit card bill, and then go on to the next thing. So obviously this is the start of the crash of Monarch. And the crash, it started going down steadily and whatnot. So Rudy decided to start buying Monarch boxes back because he really believed in the products, and he doesn't know the print run, so he's thinking it can't be that much, and this is a really good product, so he decided to start buying them for 200 each. And so that kept the ceiling from dropping below 200, where people were just saying, hey, they start undercutting. But now with Rudy buying everything up for 200, people start selling to Rudy instead of going undercutting each other in hopes of selling. So that held for a while until Team Covenant, which is one of the big three, Team Covenant, Star City Games, and Channel Fireball, decided to unload whatever inventory they had for $200, and they had over 1,000 boxes. Now, a little backstory on Team Covenant and why is this such a big deal? Because Team Covenant has a subscription-based model, the way that they sell their boxes. You have to subscribe to their monthly thing where it's like a membership, and you have to be in that subscription in order to buy boxes for them. For example, if I was in their subscription thing, I could order boxes for them. If I wasn't, then I can't. And why that matter is they only had a limited amount of slots for memberships in there. So if you were too late and all the membership were filled, you're shit out of luck. You can't get there. And why was it so important to be in the membership is because they were selling every single one of those boxes for MSRP. It's at that $200 crazy inflated price. So everybody wanted to get in, but they capped the membership. You can't get in. Only those people that had the membership could come in and join and buy. So they capped it. So they sold it. They didn't release anymore. No, they told their the members like there's no more boxes. Blah blah blah. You can't buy anymore. So, but the members, they don't care. It's like, great, I already got my box at MSRP. Meanwhile, everybody else is like paying over absorbing amount of prices. So even with the crash of Monarch as it's going down to 200 or something, these members were fine. They were like, yeah, it's okay. I bought it for like $75-$80 for a box. So let's fast forward. Now they released it online for everybody to purchase for $200 each, and they had over 1,000 boxes. So people was wondering, where the fuck all these boxes come from? It's like, you held all these boxes this whole time, meanwhile you could have sold them at like whatever MSRP. And their excuse was, oh no, these were from people that order, and then they either one, their payment didn't go through, or two, they chose not to pay, and we just kept the order. And I think to myself, do you believe this shit? Because I don't believe this. That's fucking bullshit. Because everybody was willing to pay $300, $400 for these boxes when they came out. And you're telling me these people who order these boxes, these members that you all have, they order these boxes for MSRP, decide not to pay. Shit. In this case, like, a reseller would be in like heaven. This is a reseller's heaven. You could buy for $80 and sell for $400 plus an opening day when release date. You gotta be kidding me. You're telling me people weren't willing to shell out that money, put it on a credit card, and then just sell it for, and even if they could sell it on the way down, they still make money. Think about that. So I don't believe that for one fucking bit. So that broke the ceiling, or broke the bottom floor. Things dropped from like below that 200 mark, and Rudy stopped buying because Rudy was also shocked at this news too. Like, whoa. Even like people were looking at LSS like, wait, so what really is the print run and all that stuff? So about a year or two later, LSS released the print run, which is 125,000 boxes. 3 times the amount of Crucible War. And some people were shocked, some people were like, that's okay. But the main question that a lot of people are asking is like, they're asking us, like, hey, you knew that it was 3 times the amount, and you let Channel Fireball create artificial scarcity to pump up this price. You mean that you had enough to satisfy the market where everybody could got this at MSRP, but you chose not to, and you just became quiet and looked the other way? What the fuck were you thinking? Nowadays, a lot of people, you know how many people exit the game and like stop playing it because the amount of money they've lost, and the money that they had to shell out just to play this game. But then, of course, for me, in my head, I was like, okay, their excuse was they overestimated the market, thinking there's actually that many people that play the game and there's not that much demand. But they didn't know that the scalpers and the resellers are that crazy, and with their bots and their technology and stuff to gobble up all of these boxes. And in my case, like, hey, if you got burned, that's your own goddamn fucking fault, because you chose to speculate and all that stuff. The only thing I could fault them on is, like I say, not keeping a hold or control on Channel Fireball, because they are greedy son of bitches and whatnot, and likely so that's why they're no longer around. But nowadays, boxes are $60, $65. As you saw in my last video, I got one for $20. That's how bad it is, and that's just a one-off because that guy really wanted to get rid of it. He didn't want it at all. But that's all I got for today. How did you start it around that time, or before me, or after me? Were you around for the Crash of Monarch, or you just started recently? Let me know. Peace.